Ladies and gentlemen, Friday, August 7th, I'm Jeremy Wolf, former MLB draft pick, founder of Open Athletes, host of your daily live show, the best daily live show in all of sports business, the only? Can't be the only. Certainly the most entertaining. Certainly the only one with maybe technical difficulties this morning. If you can't hear me, raise your hand, but I think everything's okay now. Happy Friday. Good morning. We are the show for athletes building something. We are the show for entrepreneurs building something in sport. We are the show analyzing the things that are happening in sports.
Home run!
The Yankees just put a prediction market on the outfield wall. Netflix bought a cornfield. Jaylen Brown and Draymond Green want to tell you how little of the giant contract they actually keep. Arsenal signed the richest stadium and shirt deal in England, and Congress finally figured out how it wants to police college NIL money. Like 10 years later. I'm closing on the one thing every one of these stories is really about: attention, whether you're pricing yours or giving it away for free. But today, our quick hits. Manchester United's record betting kit deal. Manchester United just signed Betway as a training kit sponsor, reportedly £20 million a year. However many dollars that is. The biggest training kit deal in the world. And notice the word training kit. England is banning gambling logos on the front of match shirts next season, so the money didn't leave. It's just on the practice jersey. Regulation never kills the money. It reroutes it. The deal was already there. They needed a sponsor. And Betway's still going to be on something. It's not the game jersey. Totally different. Eyeballs are different. Yes, absolutely. Are they still going to get their $20 million worth? 20 million pounds worth? However many dollars that is? Yes. DAZN swallows local NBA rights. We talked about this a bit earlier this week, but DAZN is reportedly locking up local streaming rights for as many as 10 NBA teams when we don't report, but we told you exclusively for the Hawks earlier this week. But now add the Wolves, the Cavaliers, the Pacers, the Spurs, and the Grizzlies, plus the Knicks and Nets on streaming. The regional sports network is dead. The streamer is the new local TV. The pipes changed owners. Who owns the audience on the other end? Local TV is no more. Local regional sports contracts are a thing of the past. So how are these teams going to make their millions in the local markets now? They're not going to be able to. Like we saw with the Atlanta Braves also earlier this week. The Braves made what the Yankees did. They made their exclusive network that people can subscribe directly to, and it's costing them a little bit of money right now, but they're going direct to consumer with the thing that they have to offer. And the NBA hasn't caught up to that yet. DAZN was going to have the Knicks and Nets on it anyway, but now the Wolves, Cavs, Pacers, Spurs, and Grizzlies. Is it putting people out of a job? Yeah, of course. I mean, these local TV stations that were hosting it. Are the Suns still on UPN? WGN? No. The Cubs still on WGN? No. I mean, things are significantly changing. And now streamers like DAZN, or DAZN, if you're the first person to ever hear about it, are seeing an opportunity in this space. Bally's was like, yeah, we'll do it. Bally's went bankrupt. Are people still going to watch their team? Yes. Are streamers making it easier to watch their team? More than cable. I'm not getting a cable box to watch my local team, even though that was the only way to do it. So if I can stream it as if I would anything else, yeah, sure. Okay. I'll stream it if I need to watch every single game, or I could just watch highlights on Instagram for free. That's what they're competing against. They're competing on highlights on YouTube. It's not like they're going to lock highlights from not going on YouTube. They're going to keep the highlights on YouTube. I could just watch the game later. So it's 82 home games. How many of those am I going to watch? How much money is that going to make me in advertising? How much money is that going to make me on the cut of streaming? Am I still going to go to the game? Am I priced out of going to the game? Everything's more expensive now. including sports, prices are going up because things are more expensive, and then they tax us, the fans. I'm excited to see what these regional numbers are going to be next year for the NBA and we'll say Major League Baseball in 2027. Let's see what the deal is there. Let's put it on. Put it on the board. We'll come back to it. The WTA now requires every player to take a one-time genetic test for the SRY gene. Sabalenka supports it for fairness. Coco Gauff supports the players and worries people are using it as a cover to attack trans athletes. Even the athletes are disagreeing. So for the WTA to do this, one of the many governing bodies of tennis, just let people play tennis. Let people play tennis. Was this even an issue in tennis? Sorry. Has this come up at all? Has this been an issue at all? And if you're like, yeah, it happened one time, not enough. Let people play tennis. Texas Tech sells the stadium name for 15 years. Texas Tech signed a 15-year naming rights deal for its football stadium with a financial services firm called Galaxy. 15 years in college sports where the rulebook changes every 15 minutes. That's a bet on stability nobody in college athletics can promise. I'm going to put another one on the board. 15 years from now when we're doing this show, I cannot do math in public. If I say 2041 and I'm right, then that's really quick thinking. If I'm wrong, holy shit, 2041 feels like a long time from now. 2041, we will not see Galaxy's name on the top of this stadium. Nope. I've never even heard of Galaxy. Maybe it's like Lubbock, Texas only bank, and they wanted to spend that money for 15 years to be on the Texas Tech football stadium. No. Nope. I'm curious to know the total amount of money they're spending on it. And guaranteed money and blah, blah, blah. What can you do with the athletes? Blah, 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 blah. No. 15 years from now. A lot of sound effects today. 15 years from now, no, we're not going to see it there. It's going to change. Something's going to happen. Galaxy's going to go into business. Whoever Galaxy is going to go. No. You heard it here first, folks. We'll check back in on this one in 2041. Liv says it found a lifeline. Liv Golf CEO Scott O'Neill says the league has secured a new lead investor, deal expected in September, to survive without the Saudi private investment fund. He won't name them, only calls the backer one of weight, and says players are set to become the majority equity holders. What of weight? That's what you say when you don't have the signature yet. You don't have it done. Maybe Scott O'Neill was using this as an opportunity to pressure them to say, yeah, we got it. Let's push it through. It's one of weight. Who do we think it is? Could be the Ellisons. Put it on Paramount Plus, Warner, Time, Discover, whatever they're going to, HBO, whatever they're going to own next. Could be the Ellisons. Could be Rory and Tiger. Yeah, let's buy Live Golf. Let's merge it into the PGA Tour. Could be the PGA Tour. Could be Shaquille O'Neal. I don't know. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see if it falls through. I was saying Live Golf is just as good as the PGA Tour. It's got the same amount of talent. It might have at one point. I'll throw out things, and I'll say when I'm wrong. But we looked at the top 5 in the world, and they're all on the PGA Tour. I'm not going to tune into the 3M Open. As much as I love listening to Trevor Immelman on a Sunday. Little golf nap. They're both boring when they're not the majors. But if you're with Live Golf, come tell us why I'm wrong. This show presented by Athletes Fund. Athletes Fund. Athletes Fund. Athletes Fund, the venture fund that backs current and former athletes building real companies in partnership with Open Athletes with Capital, plus a network that actually gets you into the world. Check them out at athletes.fund. We would love to see you there. I was wrong about Live Golf. That it was as good at talent as the PGA Tour. John Rahm's amazing. Koepka's gone. Patrick Reed's gone. PGA's got Scotty Scheffler, Cam Young, Colin Morikawa, Wyndham Clark. Yeah, week in, week out basis. But everyone's playing in the majors, so like, what's the point of watching the American Family Insurance Kansas City Open? Just to listen to Trevor Immelman or Jim Nance? Gambling's NFL arm race, $600 million on prediction markets. Prediction markets are not going away. DraftKings and FanDuel are heating up the war. Is Meta going to jump in this war as they said they would? Every year, the sports books treat the NFL like the Super Bowl of marketing. This year is different. The two giants, DraftKings and FanDuel, are reportedly about to spend a combined $600 million, not on odds, on prediction markets, roughly $300 million each. Per Front Office Sports, DraftKings and FanDuel plan approximately $600 million in combined marketing prediction market spend in 2026, about $300 million apiece. FanDuel, DraftKings, and Fanatics, the three largest sports books by handle, all launched prediction market platforms in December of 2025. FanDuel plans to fold FanDuel Predicts into its single unified app before the regular season. What is a prediction market? Instead of a sports book setting a line and taking the other side, a prediction market lets people trade contracts on whether something happens or not. The price is the crowd's live odds. The house isn't your opponent. It runs the exchange and takes a cut. And because it's a federally regulated market instead of state by state, like gambling, it's squirting through a regulatory gap into a state's normal sports books can't touch. That's the prize. Everything is becoming a market where attention gets a live price. For a decade, the money was media rights, then gambling data and official partnerships with FanDuel and DraftKings, MGM. Now the product isn't even a bet. It's the market itself. It's the attention that gets priced in real time. And the athletes, the reason any of this has any value, get none of it. It's not a complaint. It's a map. When this much capital chases the price of athlete performance, the builder question is where an athlete can own their piece. The answer is almost never the bet. It's the audience, the data, the platform, and the trust. Is our question today to answer. Is a prediction market a stock exchange for vibes or just gambling in a nicer suit? It's both of those things. It's both of those things. And now it's a complete arm race. Gambling industry gears up for arms race this NFL season. The World Cup and MLB have provided a boost to FanDuel this summer, but the real test will be the football season. The World Cup delivered a massive summer for sports betting and, separately, prediction market platforms. But executives across the industry are preparing for the real fight, the NFL season. During second quarter earnings calls this week, executives from Penn Entertainment, BetMGM, FanDuel, Parent, Flutter Entertainment all touched on the high levels of activity their platforms have seen this summer due to the World Cup. The same goes for prediction market platforms like Polymarket. Analysts at Jefferies note the tournament generated a record $20 billion in prediction market volumes. By far the single biggest event for prediction markets to date, far exceeding volumes from the previous largest event, the 2024 U.S. presidential election. Penn Entertainment CEO Jay Snowden said on the company's earnings call this Thursday that the NFL season expected to bring in quite the arms race this year. On a marketing spend, certainly. These companies are trying to catch up with the predominant forces in prediction markets currently. What is the industry going to do to continue to challenge norms against established ways of gambling on sports? Gambling on sports is legal. But now Polymarket, Robinhood, Crypto.com, Underdog, FanDuel, DraftKings, Meta maybe, MGM, they're all getting into prediction markets. BetMGM CEO Adam Greenblatt offered a similar assessment of the landscape. His company saw crazy, massive handle growth during the World Cup. He noted that handle, or total dollars bet by customers, for the U.S.-Belgium round of 16 alone, was more than any baseball playoff, basketball, or World Series game so far. Competition is fierce, and it is. There's so many players in this. We'll see, number one, who comes out on top in the long term if multiple players can continue in this space, like it is in the sports betting space. And number two, what the regulation is going to be. As this becomes more prevalent, there's more surface area for things to go wrong. We talked on the show at length on how this is seeping into competition itself. Referees are more enticed. They've always been enticed. We remember Tim Donaghy in the early 2000s, but players like Terry Rozier got in trouble sports betting. I don't know if it was in anything regarding prediction markets. Manuel Clase for the Guardians. Others, college baseball players. The temptation is there. How is it changing, if at all, the competition on the field? More money's coming in, potentially more eyeballs, more advertising dollars. What impact is it having on the game itself? If any. We might not see any. Did so much money going into the World Cup change how the World Cup was played? No more World Cup to me. Unless athletes were betting on themselves to win or lose. I don't know if you can bet anonymously. I don't know what sort of identity verification there is on these platforms, but in theory, there's not any. You could do things that aren't good for the soul, the spirit of competition. If you're an athlete, pay attention, because this is where the money, the root of the money is coming from in sports right now. Much of the money is coming from in sports right now. How can you benefit from the influx of dollars coming in through platforms like this? Our show will not have a gambling sponsor. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to report on the facts, not report. I'm here to tell you what I'm reading on Sports Business Journal, Front Office Sports, other sports outlets, and analyze it from an athlete's point of view. And for me as an athlete, the temptation is there, but I'm certain 99.9% of athletes are not going to do anything nefarious. It's that 0.1% that's tempted by something external. Is this ruining the heart of sport? Gambling's always been there. It's just now there. Now that all these platforms are going in the same direction on this, we're going to see more of it. I mean, we're going to see with the New York Yankees, too. The Yankees put a prediction market on the wall. Pinstripes meet the prediction market. Topic 2 is the wave hitting the most valuable brand in American baseball, in American sport, and maybe in global sport. The Yankees named Polymarket their official prediction market partner. First MLB club to do it, not a footer logo. LED boards around Yankee Stadium, rotating home plate signage on Yes and Prime Video, hospitality suites for the rest of 2026. They announced on August 6th, Polymarket becomes the Yankees' official prediction market partner, the first Major League Baseball club to do so. Includes LED and home plate signage on Yes Network and Prime Video broadcast, plus hospitality. Per Front Office Sports, the same week DraftKings was hit with a wave of prediction market lawsuits. Polymarket partnered with the biggest brand in baseball, in American sports, in global sports. Two things are true. One, pinstripe approval, I felt good writing that, means the category crossed from crypto bro curiosity to blue chip inventory. Two, the ground is moving. Lawsuits, states, AGs are circling. The Yankees sold a piece of their company, piece of their wall, piece of their attention, piece of their brand, piece of their future and their finances to a company whose business is pricing attention on the game in front of it. The athlete angle is these markets, discovered a new category of inventory that appeared overnight. When new money enters your world, the winners aren't the biggest followings. They're the ones who realize fastest they have an inventory to sell. The Yankees own a wall and an audience. You own access to your own audience. If a prediction market wanted to sponsor your contact tomorrow, do you take the check? Where is your line? I have a line. That is my line. The Yankees have their own line. That is the Yankees line. They're the first of 30 Major League Baseball teams to do so. Who is next? The Red Sox. I'm sure every single one of these platforms is knocking on the door to say we would love to be your prediction market sponsor. What is the line? In this type of entertainment that thrives off of participating on their platforms in this particular way, what is the line going to be? Number one, the regulation is still up in the air. What are we going to see over the next 6 to 12 months in terms of what's allowed, what's not, where it's allowed, where it's not? Is it going to fall in line nationally like gambling is? What's going to go to the Supreme Court? What's not? For the Yankees to do this, it obviously gives it the legitimacy of partnering with the New York Yankees. There's a reason why the New York Yankees are first. There is a reason why it's not the Texas Rangers. The Texas Rangers don't have the oomph that these platforms are looking for to say, well, we are legitimized by a brand in Major League Baseball, and that brand is the Miami Marlins. It's not. It's New York Yankees. So who's next? The Mets, Red Sox, or Kansas City? Mid-market teams. Small market teams. Money's going to come in from this. Uncapped dollars are going to come in from this over the next decade, unless there is some sort of check and balance on who can participate in this and where that line is going to be from a legal level, because it has not been defined. So all of this is moving incredibly quickly because there has been no line drawn officially on where it sits separate from sports betting. And we will see over time, over the next year, we'll check back in on this frequently. I mean, enough is happening here. Enough money is moving into this. We have to talk about it every single day. And we're here to observe and see where that money is moving and see where these decisions are being made in sport. And the New York Yankees said, we will be the first. We will ink this deal for however much it's worth. Can we find how much it's worth? Polymarket becomes an official prediction market partner of the New York Yankees per PR Newswire. Polymarket, the world's largest prediction market, today announced it has become an official prediction market partner of the New York Yankees. Polymarket branding will appear on Yankee Stadium signage during a Yankees game. I got to get rid of this thing that pops up every single time I click my thing. For the remainder of the 2026 MLB season. A couple years ago, FTX went on the stadium for the arena for the Miami Heat, and it was gone in a year. Now, I'm not saying Polymarket's going to end up like FTX. That was much different. FTX was much more nefarious in how they were moving their money, the product they were offering. Polymarket said, I have an opportunity to partner with the New York Yankees as I get into the rest of the season and the playoffs and the World Series. The partnership will feature exclusive fan experiences, giving Yankees fans unique opportunities to engage with Polymarket throughout the season. We're excited to begin a relationship with Polymarket. Major League Baseball's prediction market partner, Michael Tusiani Gabagool, New York Yankees Senior Vice President of Partnerships. Through signage and fan experience opportunities, we look forward to elevating Polymarket's brand awareness, both at Yankee Stadium and across our fan base. Exclusive fan experiences including an outfield catch for children, kids run the bases, and lineup card delivery experiences. It's for me to bring this to our conversation every single day. You and me are having a conversation every single day about the money that is moving in and out throughout sports. We cannot have that conversation without talking about prediction markets. And now these prediction markets are going to be everywhere. How are we going to react to it? We as fans. Or we as athletes. This show presented by Marvelous. Marvelous, the all-in-one platform to help independent health insurance agencies take action. Marvelous. If you run an independent health insurance agency, come talk to Marvelous. So many amazing things that Marvelous can do for you. Okay. Netflix bought a cornfield. Netflix buys the cornfield. Netflix is going to stream the Field of Dreams game between your Philadelphia Phillies and Minnesota Twins. Man, if you build it, they will come. Twins are coming. August 13th in the cornfield in Dyersville, Iowa. Part of a 3-year MLB deal with ESPN, NBC, and Netflix through 2028. The first Field of Dreams game was amazing. The field's smaller. It was on Fox. We had James Patterson wearing cleats, I think. James lefty. We had him wearing MTB Kicks. Look up our MTB Kicks program. That was a lot of fun. Guys were wearing custom cleats. Sponsored by Stadium Custom Kicks, friend of the show. Alex Katz will be on over the next couple of weeks. And then I think he let up just a jack in those cleats, and I think the Yankees lost. Per AOL. AOL still AOLing. Per AOL CBS Sports, MLB's new 3-year deal splits national baseball across ESPN, NBC, and Netflix through 2028. Netflix reportedly pays $50 million per season for opening night, the Home Run Derby, and the Field of Dreams game, with worldwide exclusivity on those events. This year's Field of Dreams game, August 13th, Dyersville, Iowa. Be there. Minnesota Twins versus your Philadelphia Phillies. The knock was Netflix doesn't do live sports. Now they own the most cinematic single game that Major League Baseball has. They didn't buy 162 games. They bought the 3 or 4 moments a year that feel like movies. $50 million is a price on specific slice of the attention of the fan base of Major League Baseball, the casual global once-a-year viewer. Our lesson: you don't need the whole season, 162 games. They picked 4 for $50 million. You need the moments that travel, the moments that last. Even Netflix picked 3 games instead of 162 per team. Thousands of games that they could have picked. They picked opening night, the Home Run Derby, and the Field of Dreams game. Are they saving baseball's reach? Or are they skimming the cream? Are they taking the best things that Major League Baseball has to offer on a yearly basis? Opening night, the Field of Dreams game, The All-Star game's good. I did not watch the highlights or any of that this year. Home Run Derby, no idea. But if I'm 12 or I got a family with kids, these are the most important games of the entire year. If we're going to sit down as a family and watch a baseball game, without question, I am not watching a June Rangers-Royals game, okay? Unless it's on. Unless I just got Hulu Live TV, unless I got YouTube Live TV and I'm just scrolling through. Or I got the MLB package and I'm like, I'll watch the rundown. I like the rundown. The rundown's great. Matt Yaloff, come on the show. We'll talk about the rundown. The rundown is great. That's not every single game in full depth, which is doing what the NFL does. Sunday ticket. Or 6.5 hours of commercial-free football on, what's it called? With Scott Hansen. Yeah, it's Major League Baseball's way of doing that. NBA does it, hockey does that, whatever. But Netflix is making the most exciting 3 days in baseball, putting on its global platform. It's very good for baseball. More eyeballs in more places is very good for baseball. Is it good for you? What if you don't have Netflix? Maybe they'll be simulcast on ABC, whatever. But if you ain't watching that game if it's only on Netflix and you don't have Netflix, or you're spending $15 for the month just to watch one game, and then you activate it for the Home Run Derby, and then you activate it forever. But is the Home Run Derby still tune in, gotta have the subscription television? Major League Baseball is trying to find ways to keep its relevance. Going on Netflix is a way to do that. Going on Apple TV is a way to do that. Being on ABC, NBC, it's different than what they were doing. It was just ESPN, really, and TBS, and Fox on Saturdays. Bring back This Week in Baseball, please. I beg you. That's what made me love baseball, was This Week in Baseball. Ugh, I love that show. Netflix is not as sexy as a brand as Apple TV, but it's got the reach. Major League Baseball is saying, we're going to sell the rights to these 3 days, these 3 games for $50 million. It's just going to go on Netflix. That's amazing. That's the reach. That's the global reach that they're trying to keep after. I'm not here to determine whether or not it's good or bad for baseball. It's good for baseball. The Home Run Derby is going to be on in 170 countries. That's good for baseball. If you're trying to grow the game globally, put it on Netflix. Is it making things too exclusive for folks here at home? They got to have a Netflix subscription for the most part to participate in some of these things. Athlete money woes. What the check actually keeps. Our athlete business check-in of the day. The $60 million check that isn't. Front Office Sports ran a piece where guys like Jaylen Brown and Draymond Green talk openly about how fast a giant contract shrinks once the world takes its cut. Talked about this a bit the other day. A $71 million contract is not a $71 million contract. Taxes, agent fees. Jaylen Brown and Draymond Green were talking openly about how fast this contract shrinks. The number on the jersey and the number in the bank account are 2 different animals. Per Front Office Sport, on August 6th, NBA stars including Jaylen Brown and Draymond Green describe how quickly contracts shrink after taxes and fees. Publicly reported estimates stack deductions like $6 million NBA escrow fee, $1.8 million agent fee, $1.4 million FICA and Medicare tax, $1.8 million jock tax, multi-million-dollar state taxes. Jaylen Brown's Celtics deal averages $57 million a year on paper. The take-home is less than that. We're talking about how the money is moving in sports. We're not considering how large the $57 million per year sum is. And if he gets taxed on it 50% for all of the fees and things that he owes, He still takes home more than $25 million a year. Okay. But the root of the issue here is that everyone sees the gross. You spend against a number you never receive. Draymond Green and Jaylen Brown were talking about they're spending the $57 million a year. They're spending the contract. The escrow costs some back. The agent takes their cut. The IRS takes their cut. The jock bills take their cut. The states take their cut. Then the window closes, but the lifestyle doesn't. This isn't rich people complaining. I mean, it kind of is. Almost nobody builds a bridge while they can. Now, we're seeing a lot of diversification of money that players have left over while they're playing, like Kevin Durant, while they're done playing, like we talked about with Josh Childress yesterday. They're diversifying things in opportunities that can make them money while they sleep. Just the goal of should be the goal of every single builder, entrepreneur, athlete, whoever. Can we find opportunities? Athletes can find opportunities to get in the room. So as the check is shrinking, the attention we put on that with the assets that we receive, as we're at peak value, are we able to distribute this? I was a former minor league baseball player. My signing bonus was $5,000. I made $3,000 a year, and now minor league baseball players make $40,000 a year. Is that enough to invest into startups to help build my diversified portfolio and my startup mogul empire? No. But what I do have is I'm a professional baseball player. What I do have is the opportunity to make connections or inroads or be visible, to get in the room. I'm trading my attention that I have, for an opportunity for a piece of whatever pies I can get my hands on. If we're making money at that level, what things can we do to set us up after our career or during our career to maximize the reach that we have and the impact that we can make with companies that want our attention? So you can get started making $40,000 a year as a professional minor league baseball player and a professional G League NBA player. Guys still, companies still want you to participate. They don't care that you're in the G League. They do not. I've run a company where I was like, I'll take anybody to help me distribute this thing. Somebody who believes in this thing as much as I do, and they have a reach, and they are in the minor league basketball club, the G League for the Spurs. Fine. I don't care. At the highest level, $57 million a year is a shit ton of money. But after taxes and everything that comes with it, plus the ego that comes with it, plus the spending that comes with it, can evaporate. The point of telling this story is that the money evaporates. The money goes away, no matter the level you're at. What doesn't evaporate is the impact and audience that you can create while you're playing so that it can last further into your non-playing career. Now, do I feel bad for Jaylen Brown, Draymond Green? Nah, man. I don't. Come on the show. Talk about it. I don't feel bad. But this is a reality check that no matter where you're at in your career, if you're the best of the best or if you're just in the minor leagues, that you need to diversify the things that you are best at or that you want to consider. When I was playing, we were not allowed to think about what would happen after our career. Oh, you can't think about that. Oh, you can't start a business. Oh, it's got to be baseball 24/7. That was harmful to me, harmful to others. I need to be thinking about what's next. I need to prepare for that. Number one, I need to set up my life for what it's going to be like when I'm 28 without anything on my resume and nothing to show for it. And I got to go find a way to make it work. What can I do from 22 to 28 to build the network? Companies like PAC, Professional Athlete Community, The Post, they're doing amazing things to bring athletes together. And they don't discriminate on how far we got in playing professional sports. If you're a college athlete, What are you going to do next? Are you going to play professionally? Can you go overseas? How can you set up your career for life after sports? But college athlete who doesn't play professionally gets a job at 22 and by 28 is leagues ahead of somebody who played 8 years of minor league baseball and is now 28 with nothing on his resume or his bank account to show for any of it. $57 million a year, fine, that's a different level. But $40,000 a year, what are you doing? I didn't do anything. And I didn't do enough. And I should have. And I needed to. And it set me back. Now, when I got done playing, I was lucky enough to have the chutzpah to build more than baseball. And it kept me sane and afloat and had something to look forward to. But if I was 24, as I was doing Olympic stuff, playing in Europe, that was my job. And I was lucky enough that it paid me like a little bit of money to be able to do some of those things. If you're 28 years old right now and you're a minor league professional athlete, what if you get released tomorrow? What are you going to do next? Who are you going to be without playing baseball, without playing hockey, without playing golf, without playing soccer? What is your post-baseball playing, post-sport playing career going to be? Do you want to diversify your time now? How are you going to do that? How are you going to get inroads? How are you going to get... Or you're just going to be like, I'm going to play as hard as I can and not worry about anything, and then I'll scramble to make ends meet. And when you're done playing, you're going to have nothing in your bank account, for the most part. Or you might have a family that you need to take care of. Like, we know a lot of athletes that do. What can you do now at 21, 22, or even at 28 as we're seeing the end of our career to get ready for that next step? Can you diversify your time, your network, your money, your funds to build the thing, to get ready for the thing that you know is coming? $57 million a year Jaylen Brown's making is, we would all kill for the ability to do that. He has earned the right to make that much money per year. He's one of the best players in the NBA. And he's doing amazing things off the field. And he's not wrong to say that the money goes away quickly. Bijan Robinson's making $51 million guaranteed. $20 million a year. 22. He is the highest paid running back ever and severely underpaid for the value that he gives to the Falcons, the city of Atlanta, and that offense. I can't believe he's making $22 million a year. He's worth way, way more. 22 is 10. 10's a lot. 10's life-changing for anybody. Say he gets hurt and say he doesn't play anymore and say his career's over and say whatever and say he gets some of that contract, say he doesn't. What's he going to do with the $10 million that he currently has in the bank account? That's not going to last forever. In this day and age, the way that it's easy to spend those things, put some away. Diversify some. Follow your interest. Do what Josh Childress is doing. Do what others are doing. To just build longevity with the money that you have and the small window that you have. This episode of Open Athletes presented by MindReady. MindReady, mental performance coaching and sports psychology education that puts a world-class mental game in your pocket. MindReady works with sports teams, workplaces, anywhere that you think can benefit from talking and building opportunities to improve their mental health through sports psychology techniques and education. MindReady. MindReady.co. Okay. Now, To our next topic. Arsenal and Emirates. 70 million pounds a year to 2033. A masterclass in what winning is worth. Arsenal extended with Emirates through 2033. Reportedly 70 million pounds a year. Bonuses up to 15 million more tied to results. Covers stadium naming rights and front of shirt for the men's and women's teams. Per Sports Pro, 70 million pounds per year to 2033, up to $15 million success bonuses. Covers Emirates Stadium naming rights plus men's and women's front of shirt. Prior deal, 45 to $50 million per 50 million pounds per year. The jump follows the men's title and the women's Champions League run. They didn't get a 50% raise from a better sales team. They won. Winning, to the winning go the spoils. Same billboard, 20 million pounds more a year because the attention pointed at it got more valuable, more exclusive. Winning is the fast way to reprice your attention. Winning works. The value of your attention jumps immediately when you win. And most athletes let it pass because they treat a win as a sports event and not a commercial event. You have a moment. That's not time to be quiet. That's time to renegotiate your rent. A title-winning women's side, moving the needle, is a very good thing for global football. Certainly women's football. Certainly good on the women. Good on the women's league. The Women's Champions League is really good football to watch. I'm really into the NWSL when that league is going. I think LAFC is like a great value for its entertainment. I think there's a lot of amazing things that are happening in global women's football. It's good football. There was a commercial. I will see if I can find it and share it out. There's a commercial a couple of years ago. It blurred out or it hid all of the players, and it was just about all of the goals. And all the goals were strikes, bicycle kicks, movement. They're like, wow. It was like, look at all these men playing. Wrong. All of this is women's football. The Women's World Cup was incredibly entertaining to watch a couple of years ago. I'm excited to see it in the next 2 years. Women's football is there. It's got global reach. It's a global game. Thank goodness. It's been far too long. I wish more clubs participated in the women's leagues. But it is good football, and if it's on your television, sit down and watch it and see how good of football it is. The comprehensive nature of the agreement reflects the relationship status as one of the oldest and most successful in world sport, beginning with Arsenal's move from the old Highbury home to what would be known as the Emirates Stadium. At the time, stadium rights were not new to English soccer, with Bolton Wanderers Reebok Stadium and Huddersfield Town's McAlpine Stadium leading the way in the 1990s, and partial rights have been sold to other venues such as Selnet Riverside Stadium in Middlesbrough. You hear that? You hear that, British? I watched Downton Abbey. However, Arsenal and Emirates are by far and away the most high-profile and longest-lasting example of such a branding exercise. Bolton Huddersfield stadiums have undergone multiple rebrands over the past 3 decades, whereas the Emirates, I don't know how to pronounce it, how you want me to pronounce it, Emirates, I hear it on the television, Emirates, blah, 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 as it comes to be known, has never gone by any other name. It can change tomorrow. The Emirates can go under. Sure, City's got the Etihad. West Ham's got London Stadium. Tottenham Hotspur, my club, for some unfortunate reason, have failed to attract a sufficiently attractive naming rights. That's what they wrote. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium have so far failed to attract a sufficiently attractive naming rights offers. That's terrible writing, and I think it's so bad that's not AI, despite their owners actively courting potential suitors. Rephrase that. Both venues were deliberately given generic names to maintain the potential value of such a transaction. What does this do for global sport? Arsenal agrees shirt and stadium sponsorship deal for $70 million a year. The global reach that Arsenal has, is that worth $70 million a year? Are they underselling the value that they have globally at 70 billion pounds a year? Up from 45 million pounds. Up from 45 million pounds? Yes. They won the Champions League for the women's. They won the Premier League for the men's. We're in the Premier League finals, or the Champions League finals in the men's. Look, I keep saying it. Even though these numbers are gigantic, 70 million pounds a year to be on the top 5 global sports brands that have done so for the last however many years. I would love to see how they got to that number. I would love to see how they got to that number. Because 70 million pounds a year as the one of the top 5 biggest brands in football. We'll see what that number is in 2033. 2033, when that contract expires. Put it on the books. Put it on the books. I'll be here in 5 years. I hope you'll be here in 5 years. I bet it'll be more. Things are becoming more expensive, even for the Emirates. Arsenal can charge more because they're going to win again. Unfortunately, they're not my favorite fan base in football. Unfortunately. But 70 million pounds, good on Arsenal. For charging that much, but they're a global brand, and if that's the going rate, that's a steal on the Emirates. I'm sorry. College sports rulebook gets an enforcer. Our least sexy topic of the day. Least sexy.
Home run.
Least sexy, maybe most consequential, though. For 2 years, college sports was the Wild West. For many years, college sports was the Wild West. NIL money everywhere and no referee. This week, the referees who showed up. After the SCORE Act died, the Senate's bipartisan Protect College Sports Act cleared the Commerce Committee, and Front Office Sports laid out the enforcement plan, a college sports commission with power to review third-party NIL deals and reject ones lacking a valid business purpose. Per Front Office Sports, the Protect College Sports Act advanced. A committee reported 19-9 after the SCORE Act stalled. The plan lets the College Sports Commission review third-party NIL deals and reject those lacking a valid business purpose. It would set a federal framework over transfers, eligibility, and compensation, preempting the state-by-state patchwork. Pause. Why is this not the NCAA doing this? Are they biased? They're biased because they didn't want anything to happen for decades when they knew that they should have, and they got away with it for that long. But why? I'm happy that there's something protecting athletes so that people can't just give money to whatever, protecting them from nefarious activities. But who is this intermediary third party making decisions? Making decisions on what? Who's paying them? Are they designed to support the athletes? Are they going to be supporting the colleges in some way? There's so much money coming in through here. Hundreds of millions of dollars a year are running through NIL. And it's good that there's somebody to police it. 100%. Absolutely. We are so late on this. Valid business purpose is doing enormous work. Somebody in a commission office decides whether a booster's car dealership money is a real endorsement or disguised as recruiting. How are we to know? Reasonable on paper. In practice, you've created a referee for authenticity, which is wild for the government to adjudicate. The fight is again about pricing attention, forcing NIL money to be priced like real marketing. If you build a real audience and a real business has reason to pay you, you sail through that test. It hurts the ones whose only asset is being good and having a rich booster nearby. For once, the regulation rewards exactly what this show preaches. People with an audience for business-specific purposes will benefit more than people without an audience. Does this pass the Senate cycle? We will see. Ding, ding. We will come back to this. We will discuss this. There's money moving at every level of high school, college, professional sports. Youth programs are making billions of dollars a year. There's so much money in sports right now, in advertising and eyeballs and visibility. Who are going to be the biggest players spending money in NIL? And for what purpose? And how are the athletes going to benefit from the money coming in from NIL? How are they going to protect themselves? And how are they going to ensure that A, they're not being taken advantage of, and B, that they're not going to get in trouble? I would love to see all athletes make as much money as they possibly can. I would also like to see nothing be nefarious. Uncapped dollars spent on politics is reshaping and restructuring, has reshaped and restructured how our government functions. The same is happening in college athletics. Anybody can spend any amount of money, and now it's got to have a specific purpose. And that is teeth, if it passes. But is it going to pass? Who's lobbying against it? Who wants to make sure that Ohio State can spend $10 million to get this guy over for no reason other than coming over? Why not just give him $10 million to come over? Devil's advocate. Why not any athlete get any money that they want? I mean, that's been the case. Disguise it as whatever. But if it's got to have teeth, it's got to have teeth. It's got to have a real reason. And it's got to have an independent third party that can be able to adjudicate and facilitate what's right and what's wrong and what passes and what doesn't pass. And until then, athletes can do whatever they want. And some things will pass and some things will get denied. But the name Protect College Sports Act, you didn't protect them for the last 15, 20, 30, 40 years. How did SMU lose its team for 3 years? Because they were giving guys $20,000 on a car? All I'm saying is, if you're an athlete, build your attention so that the money that can come into you is for business purposes like sponsorships and attention. Create opportunities so that you don't get denied. And that's what's going to happen. Money's coming in. I should be able to benefit from the fact that I played for Penn State. I should go to Penn State because I know that I can make the money that I need to make because I might not make the NFL. Most athletes who are making money are the ones that are going to play professionally, but what if you get hurt? I mean, there's opportunities that you don't. How can an athlete maximize the total amount of dollars that they're spending? Build an audience so that everything can be a business advertising deal. Be smart on who you partner with. But don't have an arbitrary third party question whether or not a deal is real or not. I would love to talk to somebody who's participating in this currently. There's a lot to discuss. There's a lot that we can talk about. Do I think this is good for sports? On this one, I'm not at liberty to say. Because on one end, I am in favor of protecting athletes at all costs, protecting nefarious dollars from coming in, protecting the athletes from getting taken advantage of. But I'm a huge proponent for the athletes building an audience and leveraging the fact that they are an athlete for a very small window. This sits in the middle. Do I trust the party that is created? Do I trust the arbiters? Make me an arbiter. Maybe that's what this show will be. This company, this booster, I guess, this donor wants to pay this athlete this amount of money for this. And we'll just go line item by line item. We'll see. Is it going to be are they going to make AI decide? What makes AI decide? Okay, what algorithm in the AI is going to make it say yes or no? And then how do you just tweak it? It does pass. Regulation is a good thing when it comes to the free movement of money in markets that aren't controlled. However, this is an athlete-forward podcast, and I would say to you, podcast and live show, thank you for watching live on X, YouTube, Substack, Instagram, Twitch, wherever you are. Thank you for listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you're an athlete, build your audience. And this is what I want open athletes to be. Yes, come here, build a business. We'll bring you on the show. We'll help distribute it. We'll help market it. Yes, 100%. Yes, that is what we were designed to do. I also want to make sure that we're helping protect athletes with their NIL, and I am thinking so seriously. The sourcing of the things is hard. I don't know if I can build a platform to do that unless all of the companies that we have running through Open Athletes and Athletes Fund want to invest back into these NIL athletes. Certainly, we will get there. But I want to have some protection for some of these athletes. What is that going to look like? And who's in it, literally, to make sure that the athletes are taken care of? Open Athletes is going to do that. This show.
Home run.
Presented by Audit, AUUDIT, a creative brand for experimental film and photo, events, web. Oh, Open Athletes, look, that's us right there. Audit, AUU.DIT. That is not it. AUUDIT.jeremywolf.co. That's me. Yes, I can help you. And your marketing endeavors and your efforts. It's one of the many, many things I love to do. I'm passionate about a lot of things, but ultimately I love creating. Why I like doing this live show every single day to an audience of growing is because I get to just be creative. And my art is not painting or drawing. I can play the guitar, but that is not my professional art. I love taking a step back and saying, how can we use creativity to solve this problem? The thing I like doing a lot right now is I know that camera's on and this mic is on and you're watching. And I really love that I have to remain focused on the thing that I want to say, or it's not going to be a good experience for you and will be embarrassing and a bad experience for me. And so I love that we get to talk about sports every single day. We get to articulate it into what an athlete should know, what building in sports should know, talk about how the money is moving in sports. But ultimately, this is a show about talking about attention. Major League Baseball, the New York Yankees said, we have attention and we are going to charge this company this amount of money to be our exclusive this partner because of their attention. Arsenal said our attention on our jersey and our stadium is worth £70 million a year. Every headline we talked about was about somebody putting a price on attention. Who got to keep that money? Price your attention. DraftKings and FanDuel are spending $600 million to build a live market that prices your attention. The Yankees rented their outfield wall to attention. Netflix looked at the whole season and paid for 3 games for $50 million for your attention. Arsenal won 2 trophies this year for your attention. Congress is writing a new law to prohibit and adjudicate college athletes and the attention that they hold. The receipt that should stop you cold, the players, the reason this attention exists, are watching their take-home shrink. A $57 million paycheck landing as a fraction after escrow, agent fees, IRS, a jock tax. Attention has never been more valuable. Attention allows you to diversify. Attention is why I'm doing this. Because I want the athletes that are building something to benefit from the attention that we create for them. Of a community of people that are interested in the business of sports, athlete entrepreneurship, or if you're somebody who wants to build something in sports, or if you're a brand who wants to be in sports, we're having real and open dialogue about the business of sports, the things that are happening in sports. That is attention. That is the attention that we are generating. That is the value of open athletes. That is the value of having these real-time conversations. Most athletes are not Jaylen Brown. Most athletes don't make $53 million a year. Most don't make $1 million a year. Most who try to build an audience fail. Yes. I'm not selling a lottery ticket. I'm not selling that it is going to be a lottery ticket. I'm doing this work to try to give you a jump start. I never had a jump start. My jump start was my network. I knew a lot of people just by playing sports. I knew less people because I was a professional athlete and can get into those rooms, because as a former professional athlete, you can't really get into those rooms anymore. As a current professional athlete, you can get into more. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing that that can happen. The alternative isn't safe. The alternative is the down escalator. Being purely talented in a world that now prices its talent less so than attention. Off the field, certainly. Stats still matter on the field, but I'm talking about off the field. Attention is more valuable than talent. Winning is more valuable than talent. I believe that. You don't have to become a huge creator. In 2 weeks of doing this show, thousands of newsletter subscribers, hundred or so watching live every day, couple hundred watching each clip that goes out. Already having this platform to distribute has been more valuable for me in everything that I've done in the last 5 years. And just doing this for 2 weeks, it's different. We are creating a community here specifically about the business of sports and the value that the business of sports has, paying attention how the money is moving, thinking about how we can benefit from those things. Everything is attention and the distribution of the thing that you do. What is the name of our game? What is the name of our game? You are not just the talent, you are the distribution. For a brutally short window, you own two things the machine cannot manufacture. A real audience, a real committed audience, and access to rooms. Inventory. The Yankees found new inventory when a buyer showed up. Arsenal treated a trophy as a repricing event. Netflix paid for the moments that travel. Run the same plays at your scale. Starting this week, you don't need a Kevin Durant, Jaylen Brown check. Where can you sell your audience, your distribution, your talent, your value, your expertise, who you are as a person? Don't sell yourself out, but who you are as a person, to trade for equity. Can you do that? Is anybody willing to share that with you? But can $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 checks with equity on the table, can that help you diversify in things that you are committed to and believe in, things that you can see a return on? You know what's sexy? getting a return on your investment, not just investing in these things, but investing in things that can actually pay off, but in 5 to 10 years. But what can you do in the interim? What can your audience generate for you in the interim? I did not have an opportunity to do these types of things when I was playing because I was making $3,000 a year. My signing bonus was $5,000. We talked about taxes today. It was $3,200 after taxes. My take home for my signing bonus is $3,200, and I made $3,000 a year. There's more money moving in sports today. It's never been easier to create an audience. It's never been easier to position yourself as someone in sport. Athletes are doing amazing things in sports right now. Where can you use your expertise, the audience that you're building, to price your attention appropriately so that you can keep your money or diversify your money? How many people actually pay attention to you, and where? What platforms? What opportunities? Strictly based on the algorithm, or are there other opportunities for you to grow and scale the platform that you are building? If you are not building a platform and don't want to be on social media, don't want to build a platform, how else can you do this outside of the algorithms? You making a phone call, you sending a letter, you sending a gift, you going door to door. I'm a former professional athlete. I want to help. I want to be here. I trust in the thing that you're doing. People go, professional athlete? Well, you don't have an audience? Can you get us in front of other people? What's your network worth? What's one DM worth? What can one DM do? If you're not on social media, fine. Are you going to build a newsletter? Maybe it's like such an exclusive newsletter, there's no landing page for it. Maybe you go network to network. And you go to event to event. You say, I don't want to be on social media. I don't want to play by the algorithm. But you spoke at an event. You're part of a community like PAC. Even without the algorithm, even without social media, you can do things to get in the room with people. Even you. Yes, you. And you. And you. You don't got to sit on Instagram all day DMing people. You got to build YouTube videos all day. Oh, Jeremy, why are you doing this? I'm doing it because I love it. This has been the most fun 2 weeks. I've been thinking about this for a very long time and actively putting things on paper for 6 weeks. And I've been doing this show for 2 weeks, and it has been so much fun. If you're an athlete that's like, I don't want to build out of creative posts. I don't want to sell myself on social media. That's so 2010 to 2020. Yeah, sure. I agree with you. The way to influence things on social media is different. Authenticity is key now. What can you do outside of the algorithm if you don't want to be on social media? Well, you can come on my show. Build a business with Open Athletes. Use your business to help connect you with people. Use your networks. If you want to be on social media, what is that thing that you can say and do to teach others about something that's troubling them? If you're a long snapper, and you're like, man, I want to make money off the field and I want to build my audience. I don't think the long snapping education or football mentality education or how to make it to the NFL long snapping, I haven't seen that. The world is pricing your attention whether you price it or not. So find opportunities to keep your money. Keep your piece of the enormity of the pie. I would certainly love to work with any professional athlete. You're a professional athlete and you're like, what do I do next? Reach out. I've had these conversations to know what type of personality does right with what. Not everybody can go live for an hour every single day, talk about sports, build the things to just make that process easy for them. It's hard. It's a lot of fun, but it's hard. And if I can teach you how to do it, and if you're like, wow, I love what you're doing, I would love to have these conversations every day. Do it. I want to build a newsletter, but I don't want to spend money on it. I want to get people in it. I want to let's talk about it. I want to build things on social media, and I want to help brands, and I want to do. Let's do it. You as an athlete not making $57 million a year or $20 million a year or $10 million a year still has an opportunity to benefit from things that are happening in sports. You can get in the room. You're in the room. That's the value of you as an athlete. And that's the thing I'm trying to teach you every single day. That's the thing I did not take advantage of when I was in the room, in the window. We're going to keep talking about it. We're going to keep looking at how the money is moving in sports. We are going to keep figuring out the next steps, the next opportunities, the next trends. And we're going to help athletes build businesses and build audiences and build their distribution, because that is worth it. Reach out if you have any thoughts or questions. Happy Friday. I'll see you on Monday.